Good evening. A court has heard that a terror suspect threatened to kill 4 other people after launching a frenzied attack on Sir David Amess. Ali Harbi Ali stabbed the Tory MP 21 times after arranging an appointment with him last October. Chagossian's report contains some distressing details.
Police, please, quick now. The man is wielding a knife.
This is just a segment of the frantic 6-minute 999 call played in court today.
He's threatened me. He's killed David Amess at Belfast Methodist Church.
That voice is Yvonne Eves, reporting the moment her MP, Sir David Amess, was killed.
But we need an ambulance as well. He wants to get shot, apparently. He wants to be a hero. He wants the police to come and shoot him.
All right, just take deep breaths. All right, keep taking deep breaths. We've got armed units on route. Okay?
He's going to try and stab you.
Ali Harbi Ali stands accused of Sir David's murder. Today, the jury was shown CCTV pieced together by police from hundreds of hours of footage, showing Ali wearing a khaki coat, travelling from his home near Gospel Oak train station in North London to the constituency surgery in Essex. Here he is calmly stepping aside to let a woman off the train when he arrives at Leigh-on-Sea, before walking to his 12 o'clock meeting. Ali secured that appointment by posing as a constituent by giving staff a false postcode. The court was shown an email chain where Ali said he was a healthcare worker moving to the area and wanted to get to know his MP. He finished the conversation with, "I don't know how long the appointments are, but I don't think it'll take too long." 55 kilometres and a 2.5-hour journey. The prosecution previously told jurors, though, this was not a spur-of-the-moment decision. They say Ali had planned an attack for many years. He denies murder and a charge of preparing acts of terrorism. The trial continues tomorrow. Chagossian, ITV News at the Old Bailey.
In other news, the government gave P&O Ferries until 5 o'clock this afternoon to answer accusations about its brutal and crass management style after it sacked 800 workers. The company has since announced a compensation package of almost £37 million. It said the decision to lay off staff was incredibly tough, but if the move wasn't made, it would have meant the end of P&O Ferries. But workers say they just want their jobs back.
For a company that's pleading poverty to find £37 million down the back of the sofa, it must be fantastic. Our guys don't want compensation, they don't want redundancy, they want their jobs back. The jobs that they worked there for years. The guys were promised that they were the future of the company and they've had the rug pulled from under them.
Doctors and paramedics from the southeast are among those taking part in an aid convoy to Ukraine. The team is planning to deliver supplies to the Polish border before going on to help the sick and injured in Ukraine itself. Malcolm Shaw has more details.
The function room of the Leicester Arms pub in Penshurst, repurposed as a sorting centre for aid to Ukraine. This team of volunteers is about to set off from Kent to drive over 1,000 miles to deliver all the assistance they can. Among them is paramedic Shane Woolmore, packing vital medical supplies for the sick and the injured.
My plan is to render aid to the guys down in Poland initially. I've been in touch with the Ukrainian government via a form, and basically the idea is to enter Ukraine as soon as I can, to go to wherever and wherever hospital I'm needed at, to help the doctors and nurses out there and the ambulance staff that's already there.
The trip has been organised by Arthur Smith, a mechanic from Tunbridge. It's the second mission the 25-year-old has led so far. The team he's assembled will travel to Poland, and some of the medics will go on into Ukraine itself.
So we have advanced trauma surgeons, paramedics that have taken annual leave. We have construction workers coming out to have a look at maybe pop-up hospitals. We also have translators coming with us to help us speak Ukrainian and Russian. We feel that we can do this because we have the ability to do it, and there are a lot of people out there that can't and want to do something, but we've got the capacity, and now we've got an excellent team behind us to be able to go out there and hopefully help.
Among the volunteers is Mark Janowski. He's travelled all the way from California to take part. Mark was born in Ukraine. His sister still lives there.
I have families and friends in Kiev also, who every day we talk, every evening, every morning, and they tell me we're going to win, we're going to stay here. And it's unbelievable, the strength of these people. You know, when I hear this, I want to help anybody. I want to be there and I want to help. I'm not going to cross the border, but at least we're going to bring the help, medication, doctors, whatever we can help with.
Once the team have delivered the supplies and done what they can on the ground, they'll turn their attention to helping refugees, planning to drive them back across Europe to a centre in Normandy. Malcolm Shaw, ITV News, Tunbridge.
Chagos Islanders living in Sussex are welcoming changes to the law which will make it easier for their grandchildren to become British citizens. Thousands of people were deported from the islands in the 60s and 70s, with a large community settling in Crawley. But until now, their descendants had no automatic right to become British citizens. Today, MPs voted to amend the law, giving grandchildren equal rights.
The government has concluded it would be appropriate to take action in this bill, consistent with our other measures designed to correct historical unfairness in nationality law, and will put forward an amendment as such. This will mean a new route to British nationality for direct descendants of the Chagossians removed from the British Indian Ocean Territory.
A homeowner says he and his family are lucky to be alive after a bus crashed into their house in Tunbridge Wells. It happened just before 8 o'clock last night on Gregswood Road. The couple were watching TV at the time. And finally tonight, they were once home to nearly 1,000 people. 324 families took shelter in the tunnels beneath Ramsgate during World War II. Some of those people returned today for the very first time. Tony Green was also there.
The Rats returned today to Ramsgate and the largest network of civilian tunnels from World War II, where hundreds of people would take shelter from the Luftwaffe. The kids who were kept safe here were affectionately known as tunnel rats. Today they were back as guests of honour of the volunteers who take people on tunnel tours. Martin, this was obviously once an old railway tunnel, but it became more famous during World War II as a shelter when this whole complex became known as Tunnel Town.
That's right, yes. Council had agreed to the tunnels being built, deep shelter, never gave it a lot of thought to what would happen if people lost their homes. And they knew it was very safe in here and they all started coming in.
People are coming again now, aren't they? Mostly for World War II nostalgia?
Yes, they come from all over the place.
And today's visitors had a special link to the tunnel, none more so than Ken Gower, the little boy in this photograph, who came here from his home in Australia.
My mother was a brilliant woman. I mean, she was so funny, and I think that's why we were chosen for the photo, simply because if you look at the photo closely, there's nobody behind us. It was definitely a posed photograph.
So what's it like for you to actually be here again after all these years?
It's sort of mixed feelings, really. I think this is the most exciting thing that's ever happened to me.
The sight and smells of the tunnel brought back memories for other visitors.
I feel a bit shivery, actually. It's an emotional day.
I didn't like sleeping down here, but it was safe, you know, with the sirens going. It was best to get down here.
I live just on the cliff just above here, and I've never been down here before. It's the first time, but it won't be the last. You know.
Today's event was supposed to take place 2 years ago, but was cancelled because of COVID. But this generation has lived through worse, and they relived it today. Tony Green, ITV News, Ramsgate.
Weather time now, here's Holly Green.
Feels like home, whatever the weather. Valent Boilers and Heat Pumps sponsors ITV Meridian Weather.
Good evening. Lovely spring-like weather at the moment. Scarcely a cloud in the sky. There's more where that came from, although at times this week I do think we'll tend to find a bit more cloud bubbling up. But still, lengthy spells of sunshine, chilly by night, a touch of rural frost in places, and misty at times by night as well. But basically, a very decent look to the rest of the week. So high pressure dominating, it's keeping weather fronts at bay. Initially we've got mild air with us, temperatures probably peaking today, tomorrow. Then we see some slightly fresher air coming in, so temperatures just tail off a smidge, but nonetheless, still I think some very pleasant weather, although always fresher around the coast where you've got this breeze off the sea. Starry skies then overhead, some mistiness around and temperatures taking a tumble, so down to mid-single digits fairly widely, and we could just see a touch of rural frost in some prone cold spots, I suspect. So that's how we start tomorrow morning. Chilly, misty, bright, and much like today, it's basically sunshine throughout the day. Always a touch fresher for coastal areas where you have got that breeze in off the sea. Temperatures, though, could well get a smidge higher than today. Plenty more bright weather to come, but still with some chilly nights. Take care.
Valent sponsors ITV Meridian Weather.
So looking lovely tomorrow and for the rest of the week. That's all from us. We're back tomorrow at 6 from me and the team here tonight. Thanks so much for your company. See you tomorrow. Good night.